Hello, my name is Destro168 and I'm the creator of FCRPG. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a dungeon. So, I've tried to make this video legit a couple times, and they're all really long, and so it's really difficult to keep myself perfect for 16 minutes. First time I made the video it was 25 minutes. It was really just way too long. So I kind of just trimmed out a few things. Like, I already made the dungeon. I picked completely random coordinates out, but I just wanted to go ahead and just at least build the dungeon and everything. So I've already got the dungeon stuff configured in here, but I'm going to go ahead and remove all that. So just remove that real fast, and now you can see this is just going to be a dungeon tutorial completely from scratch, and the only thing is that the dungeon's already made. So we're just going to go ahead and just configure it because it's already built. So to get started making a dungeon, you're going to want to go ahead and use /de, or you could do it all in the config if you're a true champion, but some people like the commands. I like some of the commands. The commands are good for the locations, but I'd say for putting in the join timer and stuff, instead of typing de timer join num value, you could just type in 5 here, which is kind of easy, but with the locations it's a little bit more complicated. I've got my console open just in case there's any errors, which there shouldn't be. I did find a small little mistake that people might make, but aside from that, it should be good to go. So the first thing you do is de new pi, and that's the second command. Let me go ahead and get rid of that F3 display. So de new pi, and you'll see that it will create pi. We've got a whole dungeon called pi now. And pi is in the spirit of FC Announcer. When I make my videos, I always use pi for the announcements, which is kind of funny, in my opinion. I have simple humor. Alright, so we've created the dungeon. I'm standing right at the lobby right now, so I'm going to go ahead and use de list so I can see the name. Dungeon list, actually. And then de lobby 1. And I forgot I have to make the selection, so let me select this with a diamond. de lobby 1, and then you'll see it'll update in the configuration file. I recommend always making the dungeons locally so you can have this kind of easy setup like I have right now. Yeah, you can do it on a live server, but being able to see the information in real time is pretty useful. And also, in case anything screws up, it should never screw up. I think dungeons are pretty stable. I've never had it crash the server. I don't think it can crash the server. I've never had it mess anything up, but I would always just do it just because it's the most complicated feature. And if you get errors or it somehow bugs in some way that I'd never even expected, you definitely wouldn't want that on a live server. So just download your world and then configure it. So moving on, we have our lobby now. Really, you could just go straight down the list. I skipped spawn box because we're going to do that in a bit. Just get through these locations first. So player start, we want player start. That's when you join the dungeon. So de player start 1. Case doesn't matter, but I'd like to capitalize like that. We're going to put the exit outside the dungeon because we want players to teleport outside the dungeon once it's done. So de player start or player end 1. And what did I do wrong? Let's see. Exit, not end. And I even have it say not end, so man, I just need to go rename those commands. I couldn't before, but I think I'm going to rename them now because I can. Alright, so we've got the player start, player exit. We got to put the boss spot down. So let's go ahead and put the boss spot down. Wait, are these updating properly? Huh, they're not making it so I have to, oh crap, I'm putting them at where I put the diamond at. Whoops. Stupid me. Psh, not bad. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Player start. Alright, let's try this one last time. So yeah. Player exit. Alright, cool. So those are set up. Let me get rid of that dirt. Alright, so let's see, we've got everything except boss spawn. So boss spawn, put right here. We want the boss to spawn right here, near the end of the dungeon, make it look good. And this is just a really basic dungeon, of course. If you've seen in my other videos, I make the dungeons look a lot more elaborate back when I used to run a server. This is as basic as you can get, just 2 boxes, a lobby, and a dungeon. So if you want to just test the plugin or anything and do this, then you could just do this kind of setup. So we're going to go ahead and do the treasure chest now. So when we start, we want to have a treasure chest. So let's do a chest, give myself a chest, and put a chest right here. And then select it with the diamond, type the treasure start, 1, add, and bam, it'll add it into here. And so it's in the config now. I don't have a swap command like I do with Spawnbox. That's a small feature that I need to add at some point, but for now, you just go with the flow. And then, so that's the start. And then we'll put dungeon in, treasure in. So, alright, cool. So you see we have these. Get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of the 0 fields. Make the 1s the 0 fields. And that's important because you have to count from 0 upwards. So see how I just kind of replaced them basically. And so now we have a start and end treasure chest. And we're going to go ahead and get the spawn box selection. So the spawn box selection is a little tricky because you have to make it so it doesn't touch the walls. Like, you see what I'm doing right now? I've made it two-way in all directions. So it's kind of like going to be a cube inside a cube. So yeah, we'll just raise that up by 2 right there. And okay, cool. So you have the main structure, and then you see how I make like a cube inside. So the mobs will spawn inside of these, like the dirt cube, if you imagine like it's a dirt cuboid. And the whole reason that I have it so you can't set it up on the ceiling is because basically if you select it on the ceiling, my detection is gonna like say that there's like stuff on the ceiling that it's colliding with. Same with on the floor, it's gonna say that there's stuff colliding. Like, I could put a tree in the middle of here per se, but it's like the ceilings, the floors, and the walls are the main thing that like really seem to bug it out. Well, 100% bug it out, just because that's how it works. So it's because of my detection. Because if you could put a house in the middle of a dungeon, it doesn't matter. You could put trees and stuff, but the mobs, they won't spawn inside of them. That was a big thing I had to make sure they didn't do. So as you can see, you know, it's like inside of here. They won't spawn like inside of chests, and it's a cube inside of a cube basically. So this is just, I'm taking a little bit extra time to explain it because this is actually really important. If you want a successful dungeon and you select over here like on the floor in the corner, it's just not going to work. Sorry. So it's just how it works. So we have our spawn box, and if you type dungeon print, then you'll see that you can get the coordinates you selected all printed out very nicely. And then you could type them in if you want, or you could use my very nice conveniently created command, which I think that this is one of the most useful commands that you could use, like of all of them, so definitely I would learn this. DE spawn box 1, and then in this case we're going to add to it, so we're going to use add. Then we're going to swap 1 with 0. I'll show you over here. As you can see right now, why did it add those? Oh, it added those back probably because I didn't save and reload the config. It's fine, I'll fix that in a sec. I'm going to swap 1 with 0. So go ahead and do that. And okay, apparently that doesn't want to work, so whatever, it's not a big deal. I have the code in the background. I just hit the wrong tab. Alright, so we're just going to do it manually then. So I'll get rid of the zeros. 0 fields. Make the 1 fields, or entries, the entries. Actually, no, they're fields in this case. So you see it's all 0, 0, 0. Because if you have just 1 here and you don't have a 0, it's going to bug, and you don't want it to bug out. So I'm going to reload SCRPG. I use plugin manager for that command. I do have radmin space reload, the reload command, but I just like plugin managers more. So let me go ahead and remove these and show completely empty chests, and we should be able to just go ahead and do an actual dungeon run now. So let me get rid of that torch. Alright, so full dungeon run. Here we go. Bam. Wish me luck. Yep, and there you go. Full dungeon. You'll see when it starts off, loot spawns in the chest, and when I use kill all, it's going to say it's complete, nothing here. Add stuff in, bam. So that's how you make a dungeon. Again, I did that kind of free form. I only practiced it one time, and I had like a pretty big issue. It was that these were at 1 and not 0, and so it's really important that if you use the commands that you take that 1 and make it a 0, or like you just double check these, make sure that these zeros are here, it counts from 0 to 1 and everything, and it doesn't bug out. So that's just my biggest piece of advice I could give. Everything else should be pretty simple and basic, straightforward. Commands are pretty straightforward. You don't have to really like use this, you know, DEC extremely advanced config editing. I just put that to scare people, kind of, because like as you saw, they had that issue with the 0 and the 1s, and like just stuff like that. You just have to be really aware. So it's just a good video so you can see how to make a dungeon. I hope it's really helpful for people, and there you go. And as you can see, the dungeon just completed just in time. So Destro out. I'll see you all later.